Hey people, and for the next 3 weeks I'll be building 131 variations of this helmet. That means 6.24 helmets a day. So let's get on with it. So we've got our head form here. Now as you can see, he's been through some battle damage with me. All those marker pens and oversprays and scratches. But it kind of reminds me of all the projects I've done in the past. So thank you, big guy. You complete me. Let's head on over to the drawing board. What we've got here is we're going to just do a quick drawing of what the helmet's going to look like. So imagine some sort of a nose piece like that, whatever, yeah, doesn't matter. That'll all come later. Give him some horns that come around like that. Okay. Ooh, I like it. So I've made that a bit clearer. And now I'll just do a quick sketch with pencil. If I have two angles, it's plenty enough for me to make up the rest. That'll come into there, up there, and then that will join onto that. Then we got that coming down there onto the head, and then like a little piece there. The horn comes around into there. Perfect. Back to Headley. Now, I built a very similar helmet to this in the early 90s, late 80s. It was of Shredder from Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. But what I used is I used sponge. And it's great stuff. You know, cut the shapes, glue it together with contact adhesive, and then cover it with latex and then paint it. And it was brilliant, but it got a bit heavy. So then I stumbled across a channel called Evil Ted's channel, and I discovered Eva Foam. Now, what's Eva Foam? I'll show you. It's this stuff. Now, what does EVA stand for? It stands for ethylene vinyl ceatite. I just call it the best stuff ever. And basically, he uses EVA foam, and it's super light, very strong, and you weigh it in, it weighs nothing. Okay, so let's make a head pattern and do this. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm just putting on some tin foil, just so that the gaffer tape doesn't stick to it. Now, this technique I saw on Evil Ted's channel, and it's absolutely brilliant. There's nothing you can't make approaching it with this technique. I mean, you can make body forms, head forms, any shape you want. It's brilliant. You should go check him out. We did a project with Bill Duran and Brittany over at Punished Props, and they also do some very cool stuff. Okay, now all we're going to do is just get this stuck down a bit, just so it doesn't move around on us. That's all. So we've got that stuck down, just enough to stop it from turning around on us. And all we've got to do now is make some of these shapes. Got some paper here. See what I mean? Easy. Just put it on roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just hold that down there. Yes, it's looking good. So now let's make that eye shape, just roughly. I'll just cut that out very quickly. All this will be refined later. There we go. That looks about right. Let's stick it on. As I always say, it doesn't have to be pretty. Just got to get it so we get something going here. And when you want it to fold in, just fold the paper. Let it do its thing. That will all become part of the pattern. That's not enough there. Gone too far. You went too far. Now on this, you only have to make one side, obviously. Because what you do, you'll just flip it over. When you flip it over, it becomes the other side. Unless you're making something that's uneven. Now we just take that. That's got to come about there and come back up. Okay, we need some more on there, but that's fine. There we go. I'll keep that reference on the middle there. Let's go around the back. Okay, so let's just get that on there roughly. Sorry. Oh yeah. Can you see it? Can you see it? This is just a great way to make patterns. As I said, Evil Ted, you're an evil genius. He's not evil. He's a lovely man. That's just the name of the channel. And Bill Duran, well, what a great name. Bill Duran. He builds stuff. I mean, you think it's made up, but that's actually his name. And Brittany, she's brilliant. She makes some amazing stuff. Just get that nice and solid. Don't worry about not looking pretty, but you can see it now. You can sort of see it. It's going to come round and become the back of the helmet. I'll just cut that out like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get all those details in. Let's just imagine where the horns there. So they'll be about there like so, coming out like that. That'll come down straight there and then fold into that there, like that. Comes back down, and that comes around from that piece. This piece in the middle is this piece. It's like a Mohican, and then I'm gonna have holes going through it so we can see the thickness of the metal, so to speak. Okay, comes into there. We'll have rivets and all sorts of things. Don't worry about that. So from here, then we'll come up here. Another piece will also have rivets on, and this will carry on down all the way around the back. No drawing. Okay, but I can imagine that comes to about there, so that ends on the line of that, so it's about there. That's the great thing, you can just make it up as you go along. This is just variation 1, and I've just scared myself by saying that. Okay, so like so, and this is something that comes out, comes back in, turns the corner, meets that somehow, comes round here and goes into that there, and then here we've got like a little, like a fin, like a windbreaker. I'm just going to build up that little Mohican there so we can sort of see what we're talking about. All I'm doing here is I'm trying to eyeball where it is, yeah, and just get that shape roughly going, like that. Cut that out, just do it in pieces, just do it in different bits. That's fine. And then the Mohican comes up like that. There, it's going to blend into nothing. I'm going to bring it up about that height, like that, and then we'll make another piece for there. But I've just cut that off of there just to make the shape. Can you see just there? What it does is it doubles for the pattern at the back. Precisely. Oh, that's a good sign. Some holes in it like that. So there we have it. The helmet. I mean, it's very, very rough, but it gives you a good idea what the shapes need to be when we cut it out of EVA foam and glue it all together. I've just taken the Mohican off so I can take a pattern. I'm just going to use some see-through film, I think it's called. So the reason I'm using see-through film, not this stuff, because I want to just see the pattern underneath. When I put another layer of tape on this, because now we want this to be our pattern, we don't want the tape to stick to the first pattern. You'll be able to take it off, but it'll just be more difficult. So this way, it just comes straight off, and that's the inside of the tape, and it doesn't get all sticky and stick on your hands. So I've just put that onto that see-through film. Now, what we've got to do is get it off there, make like little cuts, so you can take the pattern and lay it down, and it becomes flat. So when you cut it out, if you cut a V out, you put it together, it becomes round like so. So I know for a fact that I'm going to have a band of metal there covering that, and a band of metal there covering that and that. So I might as well make one cut across there, which I can cover with the band there, and a cut across there, which I can cover with that metal band there. So I'll just take a rough look and you'll see what I mean when I do this. It's so cool. I think we'll just carry on with that there. Whoa, I nearly made the biggest mistake you can make with EVA foam. I didn't put in hash lines, so that tells you how they fit together. Otherwise, you'll just be all over the shop. So we know that begins there, so just a little indication where it goes. We know that starts at the end. And this here, I just made a little mistake there. I came down the wrong way, and what you can do with the Sharpie is if you do a mistake like that and it won't come, well, that's coming off, but if it won't come off because once it's dry, it won't come off. Now that won't come off, see? All you do is just draw over it and wipe it off. And the alcohol kind of dissolves the marker pen. You can get it off. Absolutely useless tips, but you never know. I'm gonna put 2 in here to be sure. Now, whoa, slow down. Whoa, we also need hash lines here, because then when we flip it, these have got to match as well. So let's cut that out. Just a simple case of just cut it out roughly. We'll get it perfect when we make a better pattern, because this one's just a rough pattern, just so we can see what we're doing here. Okay, that should come off perfectly. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. And we've still got all those patterns there, so that will help us. Let's see, it's not sticky. We'll just cut down that dart there. No, let's cut around this first. So that should lie flat now. Now, if it doesn't lie flat, don't worry about that, because you can put another dart in. I mean, you can put one there, like this. Just make sure that when you do this, you put in those hash lines, because otherwise it won't go back together. How's that? Ugh, this is really bad. I'm sorry. All that planning of putting that band there, and now I've got that. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have another band come in there, and another band come in there to cover that seam. Oh, that looks even better. You tell yourself that. I've cut those darts in. We've got a nice flat pattern. Perfect. I've just left edge on that so we know where it begins. Like that, and like that. So we've got our patterns here. So let's get some EVA foam. All we do is just trace out those patterns and cut them out. Right, so the patterns have been traced, and I'll just cut them out into pieces. Cutting them out, simple really. Just follow the line and keep the blade nice and straight, and just follow that line, just like that, easy. There we go, all the patterns are cut out. Let's glue them together. And for that, we're going to use contact adhesive. What is contact adhesive? Put it on one side, put it on the other side, let them dry a bit, put them together, and that's it. We're all set. But before we do that, we need to give it some shapes. Again, this is something Evil Ted built, and it's such a great idea. And I just built my own, and all you do is you just heat up the foam and then shape it just to give it that form, so when it goes on it wants to curl around more easier. Evil Ted, you're a genius. Just give it some shapes. Give it that round shape so it naturally wants to bend in that way. Otherwise, when you're gluing it, these will want to open up, but this way they want to join together. Let's get a brush. What I do with these is I just take a pair of pliers and I just squeeze that together. What it does, it stops the bristles from going out. Simply here, all we're doing is we're just going to glue all them together. So you just go in like this, put in that glue, just a thin layer, get in that corner there, do all of them, let them dry for about 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, and then you can glue them together forever. Okay, so I'll do all of these. By the time I get to the end, that'll be ready. Alright, that's dried enough. Still tacky. And all you're doing now is gluing these together like that. See those hash lines? Keep them nice and aligned. Just keep them nice and level at the top so you don't have one that's sticking up above the other, because then you'll end up with like a little bump. Not that it matters, because in the design we're going to be joining all of them to cover up all your joins. Okay, so that's glued together. That's 1/4 of the helmet. Let's do the other piece. So we've got this one glued together. Now all we do is we glue them two together like that. See how those hash lines all line up beautifully all the way around. So let's glue that. Right, we've got these two pieces now. So basically we're just lining them up. Just line them up. There we go. You can squeeze and pull to get it in line. And there you go. So I'm going to stop the camera and try this on, because when I made Headley here, I made Headley about, I don't know, 12 years ago. And what I did was I made it larger than a normal head, because I've got a quite small head, but my brother's got a very large head. So I made it the size of his. So it's abnormally large. And that way it'll fit anybody. Now all we need to do, put on these, and we've got a helmet. I'll just start at the front here and just line up those tags. One more. I hope the camera angle here is okay, but I'm really concentrating. See there, I'm just missed the mark a bit, so you just pull it a bit and we're back on track. All the way in to that corner. Just glue them together and we're good to go. Right, for the next step, I'm just gonna transfer all of these details in to my pattern. Just create whatever I want really. That point there, coming back down, nice. And then this part of it here, that'll be that strip there, so that's about that thick there, rounded and then round in instead of just going straight, so it goes around and then round again. And then on the front, where that continues, that piece will be like that and that, like that. So I'll just cut them out and get rid of them. And there's our pieces, 1, 2, and 3. So they're all transferred out nice and economically. Left, right, little fishies, Mohican bit. That bit there to there, and all I got to do, oh wait a minute, I've not done the circles, hold on. So we'll go like that, then we'll get a bit bigger. Yeah, now let's cut that out. Okay, so we've got all them pieces cut out now nicely, so that's all of them. Okay, perfect. So now what I'll do is I'll just round over all those edges with this and I'll get back to you. I've beveled all the ends like pyramid them. Same with them, just beveled them. Now all I'm going to do is cut these circles out. Okay, so that will do for that one and that will do for them. That's perfect. I'll just sharpen that up a bit. Get that centered, just twist it round. Perfect. Okay, that will do that one. Let's get it centered there. Yeah, that looks about right. Let's get that centered. There we go. That's gonna work out. Can you see that? Cool. Let's heat form the helmet and then we'll glue these on. Just heat it up a bit, all the way around. Don't leave it going in one place too long. You'll burn a hole in it. We're just heat forming it now. Just get that nose bit there because we want that to sort of bend in with the nose. And we want these side bits to fold in. So I'm just going to heat them up as well to fold in to protect his face. Let's just push that down, see, like that. And hold it there. Batman. It's better. And see already, that's holding its shape nicely. Okay, all I've done here is I've just applied some glue onto the Mohican bit there. Put it on this as well. Now we'll just put this on Start from there, on that line, there. Get it straight, otherwise it'll look silly. Okay, we'll get that straight. That's looking cool. Right, so I've just realised this is way too flimsy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this EVA foam, this thicker one, and just make a decoration there, just to hold it from either side. Okay, so here all I'm doing is I've just cut 2 strips off of that thicker foam, beveled it down, and I'm going to keep that side straight to be supportive for the wall. And I'm just bevel off this side here and do the same on the other side like a mirror. Okay, line that up. Perfect. Let's put on these brows, bring that round. What that will do is it'll strengthen that. Okay, get that equal there. That's good. Just across there is that line. That's where we need that relief cut. Okay. Just a little V, but you don't want to go through. You don't want to cut through. See what I'm doing? I'm just scoring it. That's worked out perfectly. So that just goes like that, you see? And what it does, gives me that space there to go in. Just a little bit of heat. Just get that warmed up a bit. Not too much. And I'll just put that on. Hold that there. And that way, when it cools down, it'll hold its shape. Now let's put on these side bits. Just take our time here. Now remember, you want this to line up, not that. That's going to be cut off afterwards, so don't worry about that. And you want to be very careful here with your fingers. Just go bigger than the line, because as I said, we're going to go in after the rotary tool and clean all that up. I've just cut all them out, they're nice. This is not going to work. I'm going to have to cut that off. This is what it's all about, prototyping. Okay, let's make another one. Okay, so here's my template. Now this will definitely hold, but just live and you learn. Okay, all right. I don't know. Oh, that wasn't the right plan. Oh, this is what happens. You start getting tired. You start making silly mistakes. A smaller one. Where's the thing Now I've got glue all over my hands. Oh, come on now. You can do this. And there you go. He's got his quiff back. Oh, thank you very much. And now all we need to do, just put it on. There we go. Much better. So now I think we'll just get these babies on, and then we'll think about the horns. Let's do the other one. On this part, we'll bend that round. That's it. What's going on, kid? And for my next trick, let's make some horns. Basically, so they need to be about something like this. Coming over, up, coming out like that. Yeah. So just imagine that there is like that. So from the side, it'll look like that. So what I've got is I've got some Kingspan here. Judo chop. And then I'm going to glue them together in different positions to each other. And that way, we might be able to get like a block that we can carve it all out of. That goes like, yes, that goes like that. We're going to have to just carve it back and just find out. So what was I thinking? Yeah. Yeah, that's starting to look like something. That sound goes through me. So that has to go towards... Duh. There we go, like that. What happened was the silver paper stuck together fine, but then that came. Basically, I just wanted to show you what would happen if you did that. So I've got this ball here. I'm gonna just cut off the bottom of the ball there and put that on, and that should give us a nice round shape coming round, and that will be the tip of the horn. So Wilson! Just cut that off, glue that on. Okay, so the ball's glued on. It's starting to look like something. We'll just put that on there, refine it, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've refined the shape there, brought it in nicely. So now all you do, guys, is just put the tin foil on it and then cover it with gaffer tape, halfway mark, hash lines, and you've got your pattern. Right, so just trace them. There we go, and that's right. So we've cut them out. They go together like that. I just take the rotary tool and just shave it down to almost nothing, and then when they go together it becomes a nice sharp point. So now basically just a case of you just heat it up like that, and all you're doing is this. I'm just doing that. There we go. You can already see it forming. Okay, I'm just going in on that a bit like a little triangle there. So I want them to be really, really sharp. Now for the gluing, line up those hash lines of, oh, that's nice, it's curling in. Now, why one of them is shorter, I don't know. I'm not worried about that. There's no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Well, that's fine, it's actually it's in the right place. You know what? I'm gonna do this so we can see what's going on, because I can't see. Get out of there. You know when I said you don't need a lot of glue? Oh yeah, that's good now. And then squeeze that down. Yep, there we go. Put that down to its angle, just to try it out. That's your shape. I'll make another one. Perfect. Yes! I'll just glue them on and we'll carry on. Before I put the horns on, I thought I'd just put some quick seal inside where the gaps haven't joined completely. I don't know if you can see there. You just put it on a little bit at a time, as if you're filling a gap in a wall. So I've just got them drying there. I'm just going to pop them on to the helmet. So that's your middle. That's where the horn's going to go there. So that's your middle. Do the same here. Yeah, that's fine. Just push them on. All I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut some little strips, just go around the edges, makes it stronger, and also just seals that ugly seam line there. Cut some strips just to cover up my seams, put on some little rivets, and then we'll be able to seal him. I'll just do that off camera because it's a little fiddly bit, and I'll get back to you. I've cut these little circles out, and all I'm doing is gluing them on. It's a quick job. So I've put some quick seal on all over it, and now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to seal the foam with my heat gun, and that way all those pores will shut, and then it will take the Mod Podge and the quick seal better. There we go. That's all dry. Basically I've just put 2 coats of Mod Podge. It's a water-based sealer glue finish, and now we're going to add some Plasti-Dip. Basically what it is, you just spray it on and it gives it something to key to. So we'll do that outside because this is nasty stuff. Applied 2 coats of Plasti-Dip, let it dry, and it's looking cool. Now what we do is we put on the primer, and all you do is just spray it on, not too thick because you don't want it to drip. It's very important to do all these steps in the right order. So let me explain myself. That seals that, that bonds to that, that sticks to that, that primes that, and that stick to that, and then that finish it all off. And they all bond together perfectly. Ooh, shiny. Okay, so the primer is dry. He's looking good. Now let's head on over to the computer and see what colors we're going to paint him. Okay, so nothing fancy here. We're just on my Vacom, and I've done a little drawing of the helmet, and now all we're going to do is just add some color. Now first of all, I'm going in and I'm going to make the trims there, and the helmet itself will be silver. So I'm just refining that gold there, making it look more 3D. I've done the background there. Now I'm doing all the rivets silver so they pop from the gold, and then painting the silver on the helmet there, and now I'm going into the horns there, doing all the little lines just to refine it a bit, give it some shading, and there we go. Thumbs up. Got my reference, and I'm going in with some acrylic black all over everything except the horns. But on your reference, all these parts of the helmet are silver and gold, I hear you say. That's because silver and gold rub works the best on a black canvas. Get around all those rivets. Oh, so satisfying. Painting the inside there. Have you met my niece? There's one, there's the other. Mom, I'm finished. Right, let's dry that. Okay, let's seal that. Now I'm painting my horns. And yes, if you're from Scotland, I'm also painting my horns. This is just a bone colour. I just think it's the right shade of bone to apply to this horn. Now, a lot of people ask me, they say, you're an artist, who's your favourite? Well, I have a few, but my most favourite artist is nature, because nature paints some of the most beautiful landscapes ever. I worked in Norway a long time ago, and Norway has some of the most beautiful landscapes you can imagine. My only regret is there was no mobile phones back then, so I couldn't take pictures of all of them, but they're in my memory. But I took loads of mental images, and all I need to do is just close my eyes and I can see them whenever I want, and I don't have to charge the battery on my phone. When I was in Norway, I was driving along with my friend, and we saw this reindeer stuck on this bollard. She tried to jump over and got stuck. So we very carefully went down there and helped her get over it, and then she ran off, and then about 10 meters later she sort of stopped and looked back at us and sort of said with her eyes, "Thank you." So we'll just let that dry and seal it. I've just mixed up some brown here and watered it down, and all I'm doing is I'm just putting it on and then wiping it straight off like that. Can you see what that does? Just stays in those little grooves in the horn, just makes it look real. Pull it in the line of the direction the horn is going like that, and then just pull it along. As you can see, it just creates a very realistic look. Right, so now what you're doing is you're just Taking your spray with some water in it, just giving it a quick once over like that. Let it dry just a little bit and then just wipe it away. And what happens, the little droplets of water kind of take away the paint and leave behind the rest. It just gives it a more realistic look. Here we go. So within minutes, we've created lovely, organic, realistic looking horn just by applying the paint and pulling it straight off again. Now I'm going in with the airbrush and just blending in those seams there where the horn meets the helmet, just to get rid of that so it looks more organic, just in the roots there, a little bit like my missus during lockdown. Just hitting those tips there. Seal them. Going in with some metallic blue here. Why? You'll see. You'll all see. Just cutting them corners nicely. Just cover the whole area. Got that blue on there nicely. Now I'm going in with some silver rub under here. Just all the way around. I've just left one side of him blue and the other side silver. Just to give him that battle look. You know, like in Braveheart. It's a bit sudden, but okay, I'll marry you. Like that. Now the copper. Just kiss it like that and highlight them edges. Finishing that off there. So we're just touching them. See how that just pops as fast as that. Got that. Last one. Yes. And now the sealing. Just sealing that in so it's there forever. Just got a bit of blue paint on the tip there. Just get rid of that. Good tip. Don't eat yellow snow. I'll never leapfrog over a unicorn. There you go. Bit of weathering with some watered down black. Just kiss that blue with some silver. Make sure the blue is still visible. It's just bring it out a little bit. And now I'm just going in with a fine brush where it's sort of patinaed with the metal getting wet, like so. And what we've got here is we've got a little, because it's gravity fed, we've got a little area here where a drip has accumulated and just run down. My shaky hands come in handy here. Makes it look more real. Don't overdo it. There you go. Right, so what's happened here is there's been some dirt and grime gathered around in this hole, and it's just dripped down like that, all the way down onto there, and then splits onto that bolt, onto that rivet, sorry, and then carries on just down there like that. Bad design, bad design. And a bit of super gloss on the horns there. I've made him a little cape because he's super. Right, so we've got 0.206 divided by 1.243. Okay, so it's 0.16, so it's 1/5 of the fish. There we go. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. It would mean the world to me if you liked and subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video.